right, hello everyone. Welcome to InDesign Tuesday, InDesign Live. My name is Terry White. It's my pleasure to be working with you today on how to work with Microsoft documents inside of InDesign. Now, I saw a comment earlier on Facebook, oh, just drag and drop. And yeah, that's one way. That certainly gets the document in, but there's so much more you're missing out on if that's all you're doing is just simply placing your documents. So we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to master the formatting. We're going to talk about some tips and tricks. Like I see, Katrina's asking why doc files work better than docx files. They, at this point, should both kind of work the same. I can't imagine why one would work better than the other than the other one's an older format that doesn't have all the XML overhead over it. But they should work. They should work interchangeably. I'm going to be working with both today, so we'll see how that all works. Brianna, Victoria, Joy, Shiva, welcome. Augustus, what's up? Hello, Aman and Persaban, if I'm saying that correctly. Hello from all over the world, including Nigeria. So let's go ahead and switch over to my computer so I can get going here. And we got the computer up and running now. Let me do one more thing really quick over here. Hang on, and let's just make sure this is working. All right, we are live everywhere. So with that said, I'm already looking at my computer. I've already got InDesign open. I'm going to create a new document, and I'm going to open up an existing document with some formatting that's already been done in terms of style sheets, and I'll talk about all of that when I get to it. That will help you along the way. So Tobias, what's going on? Hello, Brandy. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So first and foremost, let me switch over to InDesign. And now let's go ahead and open up, let's just go ahead and create a new document. Nothing special, just file, new document, and I'll go ahead and create one that is on the wide side. Let's do that. All right, so I've got this document open, and of course, I could go up to my file menu. I could choose place. I could choose, or I could do a drag and drop as well. It's been so long since I've done file place. There is file place. I go grab the document. I've got them stored here in actually my Creative Cloud folder, in my demo folder, in my Word and Excel sample files. So I've got all kinds of different Word and Excel documents here. Some are old, some are simple, some are just basic, some have some formatting in them. That's an RTF file. Some have, like I said, some formatting. If you go to the Excel documents, some are simple, some are a little bit more complex, and then there's one that's even more complex, and we'll talk about how to better handle those as well. So lots of different documents to choose from. I'm just going to go ahead and choose this one called lunchbreak.docx, the newer format that I was mentioning earlier. And when I just open it, take a few seconds to read that in, and then once it reads it in, I get the standard place gun, basically, which lets me go ahead and click and place that anywhere I want. I can drag it out, I can click it into existing frames, and when it comes in, it does an okay job. It comes in with all of its formatting and fonts, but one of the things I've always said about doing it this way is that you pollute your document with all that Microsoft Word crap. Ooh, did I say that out loud? You pollute your document with all of those Microsoft Word styles that the person used in Word. So that's why they've all got the little download icon or little import icon, because all of these styles, normal, heading 1, heading 2, intro copy, body text, all came over from Word. And if that's what you want, great, you're all set. They're going to come in with all the formatting. And of course, you don't have to stick with those styles. This document is now fully editable. You can go ahead and change it to whatever you want. You can change the styles, you can make new styles, you can use existing styles, so forth and so on. So the fact that it brought those over isn't a deal breaker, because you can either A, update those styles to the way you really want them to look, B, delete those styles and just start over with your own styles, or C, don't even worry about the styles and just format this document any way you want. So you've got choices, you've got options, but let's talk about some better ways to approach this. Now, there's two things I want to talk about. One I want to talk about is a preference right up front, and it's off by default. If I were to go look at my links panel right now, pull my links panel down, you'll notice that there is no link. There is no link to that Word file, meaning I brought that Word file in, and now if anyone goes back to Word and changes what that file says, my document won't care. My InDesign document won't care. So that's both a plus and a minus. If I don't want someone updating my document, great. There's no link. They can do whatever they want to keep doing to this in Word. I've got a static copy of it. Whatever changes I make are whatever changes I make, and they have nothing to worry about, or I don't have anything to worry about with what they do. However, if you are in a back and forth workflow with someone, and every time they make a change to the Word document, you don't want to have to go and figure out what they changed and redo it yourself, then you might want those links. So first and foremost, there is a link that you can set. Preference you can set. If you go to Preferences and you go to File Handling, you have the option to create links when placing text in spreadsheet files. That's off by default. When you turn that on, that means that now when I place a document, it will bring it over with a link. So let's see how that works. I'll click OK, and we'll go ahead and just simply delete this one, the one that we brought in earlier. We'll place it again. And that's the one we were working with. We'll place it one more time. It will read in that format. Now, the style sheets did not go away when I deleted the document, but now there is a link to it in my links panel. So if I go now and make a change, let's go do it. Let's go make a change to that document inside of Word. Notice it says max out your lunch break. If I were to now go find that document, and it is lunchbreak.docx. There it is. And I were to go ahead and make a change to it, or max out your lunch, or just say, let's just say, I just want to say break instead of lunch break. So I save my change, close it out of Word, come back to InDesign, and InDesign gives me the standard, hey, your document's now out of sync or out of link or not up to date, however you want to look at it. And also in the links panel, I get that warning as well. I even get that warning here saying there's one error. It's just letting me know, not totally in my face, but it's just letting me know all along that that document is now not the same as the one that's on the hard drive. Again, now it's up to you to choose if that's okay or not. Just keep working. In other words, if you don't care what changes were made, you can still have the link and it'll just stay out of date. But if you do care, then you can double click the modified link symbol and that will update. So now it says max out your break instead of lunch break, just like I did it in Word. So you've got two ways to do that. How many of you did you place a Word document? I know it's an old workflow, but there are people that do it every single day. If you're a standalone designer, you probably never do this. But if you're getting files from people and you don't want the drudgery of having to retype everything, yeah, let them type it in Word or whatever they want, and then you place it and format it and make it look pretty. That's what this is all about. All right, so let's go ahead and delete it again. Let's go back one more time to Word. Let's go ahead and open that lunch break document. And again, we'll go ahead and say lunch. Now there's one downside to updating the link. If you've made changes to the formatting and someone updates the link, it's going to warn you and say, if you update the link, you're going to overwrite your formatting. So you'd have to reformat it again. So again, another downside to the link workflow. If I were to go bring that in one more time, I should have done it while I still had it here, but let's go do it one more time. And I were to make any change to this. Let's say I just go in here and make this a different font. We'll make it Castline Pro. Okay, so now we make that bigger. I've made a change to it. And of course, it is linked. So my changes don't impact Word, but Word changes could impact InDesign. So if I now go back, open that one last time, and update, max out, and just take out lunch one more time. Save it. Come back to InDesign. InDesign says the link's out of date. But now when I double click to make the update, it says, uh-oh, you've made edits to the imported version. You will lose those edits if you update now. Now, also the edits could have been edits. They don't necessarily have to just be formatting. So for example, if I had changed some of the wording, or if I'd spell checked it, or if if I corrected things, I'm going to lose all that too, not just formatting, because it's going to bring in the updated Word version. So if I say, yeah, I'm okay with that, I'll just use my style sheets again, no problem. It now says, I lost my heading style, but that's okay. It came in with all the corrected text. So my advice, if you're going to work in a linked workflow, let them do all the spell checking, editing, proofing, and all that. Don't worry about that. You worry about the design aspect of it. And I'm going to teach you a method that will make the design work better for you as well. All right, so let's get rid of all of this. Let's close this document. Let's go back and change that to lunch break. No more changes in Word. We're done. Close it in Word, and I'm going to open up a document that I had already started on. It's just a blank page, but the difference is that this blank page, I don't need my links anymore. Let's go ahead and put those away. This blank page, or this blank document, has some style sheets in it already. These are style sheets that I created to make the text look the way that I want it to look when it comes in. And Brandy says, I hate Word. Yeah, we all do. But that's the point. I'm going to make your life a little easier for when you have to work with Word documents from other people. All right, so we saw that it came in before and it has some styling to it. And we saw that it imported or polluted our document with those styles from Word. A, if they're going to take the time to style it, just smile, let them do it. But B, you don't have to live with it. And there's a few ways you can get around it. So here's the big reveal for this stream today. When you do your place and you grab that document that you want, don't just open it. Don't just drag and drop it. Don't just place it. Because then you're missing out on all the InDesign functionality that can handle all that formatting for you. Before you import it, you want to come down here and choose Show Import Options. This is on and it's sticky, or off and it's sticky. So it stays off by default. Once you turn it on, it'll stay on until you turn it off again. So I don't want it on for every single document I import. I don't need it for that. But certainly when I'm working with Word and Excel files or text files from other users, I definitely want this on so I can control what comes in. All right, Ollie says, you've changed my life. You're welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. And voila, you get this beautiful dialog box to control everything, including, for many of you, what will be your favorite feature. Remove the styles and formatting from text and tables. Like, just bring it in as raw text. Don't give me any stupid styles. I'll format it the way I want. Cool, done, no problem. Comes in plain. All right, but that's really not the big one. The default is preserve the styles and formatting from text and tables, meaning just like it's been doing. Bring in that Word stuff that they did, and if they're good, if they chose the right fonts, if you set up the styles for them in Word, you're all set. But if you're getting that random document, or not random, but you're getting that document from someone, because if it's random, you're just going to remove all the styles. But if you're getting that document from someone that kind of tried to do the right thing, they created styles, but they don't have your fonts, they don't have your sense of style, they don't know what colors you're going to use, they don't know any of that stuff, then what you can do is this next one, which is the best one. Customize the style import and do style mapping. When I do style mapping, that shows me the Microsoft Word styles that are in the document before I even bring it in. And I can even auto rename any conflicts. And I can say, oh, you know what? Normal. Duh. What is normal? Normal's been in Word since the beginning of time. What is it? What is abnormal? Is there an abnormal style? Okay. Anyway, pet peeve. Normal, instead of normal, let's change it to body. I want anything that's just normal, which basically means they didn't put a style on it, to make it body copy. Heading 1 should be my headline. Heading 2, I don't know what a heading 2 is. Let's make it a subhead. Certainly don't know what a heading 3 is, but let's make it a subhead just in case. So these are saying for all of these Microsoft Word styles, I use the term loosely, convert them to my InDesign styles. Intro copy should be introduction. Body text should be body. List paragraph, I don't really have one for that, so just make it a new style. And emphasis, which is a character style, just go ahead and bring that one in. That's okay. So now when I click OK, I can even save this as a preset. Those MS Word files from Mary, because Mary always sends me these files. So now I've got that preset, so I never have to do this again. Mary can keep using her styles. They'll automatically map to my styles. Click OK. Place the new doc. Oh, wait. Hang on. Okay, I'll go ahead and do it. Okay, I was going to say, something else I was going to build first, but you know what? Let's just build it this way. I'm going to go ahead and bring out this frame. I'm going to click the place or the output to create another new frame. Beautiful. And then we're going to go ahead and separate that frame into 3 columns. Beautiful. And everything comes in formatted exactly the way I want. All right, so now let's go ahead and do one more thing. I'm going to go ahead and create another frame for my image at the top, since we're talking about lunch. I went and found a nice lunch stock image, and we'll just go ahead and pull that in and place it right inside that frame, and we'll fill the frame proportionally. And if my client likes that one, we'll go ahead and license that image. So I don't have to think about it. Came in, formatted exactly the way I wanted it, because it's formatted using my styles, not theirs. All right, style mapping is awesome. If you're working with a good editor, yeah, all of this is contingent on someone doing the right thing on the internet. That's why you had multiple choices. Don't trust what they're doing, strip away all the styling, just do it yourself. Trust what they're doing, but they might not name the styles properly, but they did the formatting the right way with the right fonts, then bring it in with the default choice. Working with someone back and forth that you work with all the time, style mapping. So that's why there are multiple choices. It really depends on who you're working with. Okay, now let's talk about Excel. So let's keep going. Let's add in another page here. And we're just about done. Let's just create a new page. Boom. All right, so now we got this new page, and I'm going to go to my page tool, and I'm going to switch this page to landscape. I always stun a lot of people when I do that, because a lot of people still don't realize you can have a mixture of different page sizes and orientations inside of the same InDesign document. So there's a tall page and there's a wide page in the same document. Oh my God. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in. All right, so now we got this nice wide page, which is great for spreadsheets, and we got the same kinds of things. So is style mapping brand new? Carolyn. I used to teach style mapping back in the CS 4 days, 3 days, years and years ago. It's not new, but it's new to you, and that's great. You can now take advantage of InDesign that you've been using. All right, so let's go ahead and do a place. And again, we're going to show our import options, and there was an Excel document that was kind of fancy. Let's bring that one in. Same kinds of choices, but even more, because with an Excel file, you can have multiple sheets inside the same document. So what sheet do you want? You can have different, so for example, it's showing me the different sheets. So I can choose which sheet that I want. I can also have the cell range. Maybe I don't need the whole spreadsheet. I only need part of it. I can also bring it in as an unformatted table, or formatted table using the formatting that we saw in Excel, or not, your choice. And of course, I can map it to my existing table style. So again, if I wanted to magically look the way I want it to look, I would go set up a table style that looks the way I want it to look, and voila, it comes over and formats exactly the way the rest of my tables look throughout the document. So what all of this is to say is that don't be afraid to work with people in Word and Excel, because you can override all the weird stuff that they do, and it'll save you from having to do all the text. All right, you can speed up the import process. Yeah, I know. No, I don't. Go ahead and do it anyway. And so now it's telling me, because they use fonts I don't have, do I want to grab the missing fonts or find the fonts or substitute the fonts? And I'm not going to worry about fonts right now, but yeah, that's what that means. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just click, and that will bring, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's do it this way. Let's make it a little smaller. All right, let's do that instead. All right, so that'll give me that frame, and then I need to size or scale some things down. So all the pink represents the font that I don't have. So I could go replace that font with a quick type, find font, find the missing font, and replace it with what it should be. So instead of Adobe Corporate ID, yeah, that should be change all. Instead of corporate, that should be italic. Change all. And that should be semi-bold. I don't have a semi-bold, so I'll go ahead and make it regular for now. And change all. So I can do the update. Oh, there's one more. That should be something else that's bold. Let's change that to one of my other fonts. How about a Myriad Pro? And we'll make that a bold. All right, change all. All right, so now I've taken care of the font issues. Now the only thing would be to continue on with, I see this table is wider than it needs to be, so I could start deleting cells that I don't need. So I can just simply say, nope, don't need all those extra cells. Go up to my table menu, delete those columns. So those columns are now gone. Oh, there's one more. Is that one more? That column doesn't have anything in it. Okay, so delete, basically cleaning up the table, making it look the way I want it to look. So delete that one more column, and now I would go in and start just doing some formatting real quick. So let's see if we can get some of this to fit better. Maybe not. So just tighten up some of these cells so that my table ends up fitting on my page. Like so. All right, so next up, I see that this table's got more to it. I can continue that table onto another page, so forth and so on. And one more thing I want to point out is that because you're now inside of InDesign, you've got the ability to do things like, we can go in and we can go to our cell options. And let's do strokes and fills. And let's do rows and columns. Just trying to think what I want to do this. I want to actually, not the cell option. Sorry about that. I want to go in and go to my alternating fills. There we go. Alternating fills. And then what I can do is I can specify colors. So for example, I can say for every other row, make the first color whatever. So let's say make the first color a nice cyan, but we're going to make it a tint of that cyan, maybe 30% of it. And for the next color, we'll make it, we'll just make it none. And we'll say, we'll preview it, see what that looks like. And that basically took care of those rows and cells that I have selected. All right. So you can make your table look a little prettier by getting rid of the other ugly Excel logo, but then you're on your own after that to format. All right. So you can use your styles. You can style the whole table, get a table style built first. So when you bring it in, it comes in all pretty, and that's it. Away you would go and just keep going. All right. So that is my time. That is working with Word and Excel documents, probably like many of you never have before, because you can get, Can files such as Word and Excel be imported? Hang on. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Can they be imported as links? Yeah, we covered that, Roy. Remember the links panel? Maybe that was before you got here. I showed how to set that up and how to update it. So if you missed that part, just go back and watch the beginning where I talk about how to work with links. All right. Yeah, table panel, change the width. You're right, but I just want to do it column by column to get them the right size. Okay, any tips for editing and importing Excel graphs? No, not really. No tips there. All right. Okay, so with that said, I think I've covered all the ones. Philip, I don't know, it sounds like a tech support one. Not able to create an anchor. Not sure why. Contact support on that one. And with that said, everybody, take care. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.